What is your current role in your organization?
Okay, so I work as an investment banker with Goldman Sachs. And for those who don't know what investment banking is, for the juniors, so iBankers are usually financial advisors to corporations and institutions. So you usually help your clients with A, broadly speaking, mergers and acquisitions, and B, raising capital. Now, raising capital could further be from your equity markets, which is a part of your ECM, which is equity capital markets, or second, it could be from your debt capital markets in the form of bonds, etc. So I am based out of the Bangalore office of Goldman Sachs, but all my deal teams are based out of London. So I work with them, and I cover the EMEA healthcare space. Yeah.
Okay. What is your daily routine like living in Bangalore and working at Goldman Sachs? What are your working hours like? What time do you wake up, go to work and get off, stuff like that?
Okay, so honestly speaking, I joined virtually because graduated from IML in 2020, and we just all onboarded virtually because of the pandemic. So I've been working from home ever since. So I've not been going to office. But yeah, in terms of my routine in general, so see, London is 4.5 hours ahead of behind us, right? And now because of daylight savings, it fluctuates
Yeah,
between
5 and a half.
5 and 6 hours. So typically, if I don't have work from my previous night, my day would start around 12:30 p.m. or 1 p.m. in the afternoon, and in the night it has to go until like 1 or 2 a.m. That's the minimum kind of. And if you're working on some execution or any urgent stuff that has to go out the next morning, then it could stretch to 5 or 6 a.m. But that has not really been very frequent, so I love GS in that aspect. But otherwise, if I have work in the morning, quite a lot of times though, so I kind of wake up around 9, and then I would log in to see my emails. If there is any urgent stuff that I need to take care of my morning, then I would do that and then carry on with the other course. Else, I'll just check and see if there's anything no work. Then I would probably use the morning time for my personal use, do whatever I like. Otherwise, I would just spend it working. So yeah, and then this whole routine continues throughout the day. Work, no work, kind of. It's like a balance. So, yeah.
Is your work mainly in the London markets or the Indian markets?
No, so we work with the London markets, yeah. So our clients are all Europe based, not just specifically UK or London, but EMEA, right? So it's Europe, Middle East, Africa, that's the whole geography. But it's primarily European clients that I work with, since the deal teams are all based out of London.
Okay. How did IIT Delhi prepare you for your career? Did you learn anything important here, or like any life lessons here, or something like that?
Yeah, I think a lot. IIT Delhi has done a lot for my career, and there is this specific saying which comes to my mind whenever I think of it, and I'm sure everyone would have heard of it, that the more you sweat in training, the less you bleed in war. And that fits aptly to the question that you've asked, because my answer to this is going to be a long one, because IIT Delhi has surely contributed a lot to my career. One is that being from an engineering institute, the premier engineering institute of the country, and going into a different stream, which is finance and economics. How did that happen? And I think that purely happened because of the flexibility that the IIT Delhi curriculum provides, right? So we have a plethora of departmental electives to choose from. You have open electives. You can even pursue a minor in any other field that you want to. So yeah, I mean, and those compulsory humanities courses or the credits that you have to complete, 15 in our days. So I think it all started with me taking economics courses, because I'd not taken economics in 11th and 12th. And I was, for some reason, always curious about how this whole economics thing works, right? So I just took up economics courses and I just kept building on that. It just grew my interest, and then it led me to crack the Deutsche Bank internship after my third year, which is compulsory for all students, right? And that spiked my interest in finance. And then in turn, I took MSL courses, which is like the DMS, our School of Management, right? Courses from there, or other departmental electives which I had related to finance, project appraisal, cost accounting, etc. So I learned about all of this, and then there was no looking back. I just started loving it. And yeah, I think that is how I landed with a job at JP Morgan, and then it's just been finance after that. Yes, and then in other ways, I would say IIT Delhi also prepares you with a lot of soft skills. It's not just academics. So say for example, there are simple rules like, you for an 8 o'clock class, the doors will close at 8 sharp. So you are just left out of the hall if you don't enter the, so that kind of builds in you a sense of punctuality. And that is very important. Being students, we just feel, oh, how does it matter if you're just like 1 or 2 minutes late? Doesn't matter. The prof can be flexible enough, but it actually is preparing you for the corporate world, because these things matter a lot when you're actually dealing with clients. You can't be late to the client meeting, or if you have a specific deliverable to send out, you have to do it by, if you have to send it, for example, by 8 a.m., you have to do it by 8:00, or I would rather say 7:59, not 8:1 or 8:2, because that pisses off your clients. You need to build healthy relationships with your clients. So all of this is very important. And I think that is one example. Then, all that academic rigor that we have at IIT, handling deadlines, lots of assignments, right? All of this is very important, which we realize later. We just feel that at that point of time that, we're just doing assignments, or okay, fine, just, submit karke dena hai. What's the point? But actually that is kind of imbibing in your soft skills, which is going to help you later on in your careers, which I really found very helpful. Then third point would be, I got a lot of global exposure through IIT. And how was that? One is that after my second year, I went to do a research internship at the Technical University of Liberec, which was a textile research internship in Czech Republic. So Liberec is a small city near Prague. And obviously, along with my internship, I also roamed around Europe. I like traveling a lot. I'm a native traveler. So then that was one. Then I got to go to Japan for 10 days for an exchange program, Genesis, which was an economics exchange program again. And then third, I also went to China. So basically, there's a youth delegation, from India, 200-member youth delegation that goes from India to China. So there were some from IIT, some doctors, IIM grads, etc. There was a whole bunch. So I was an IIT at that point of time. And this was also around 10 days long. So I never had that phobia of going abroad or dealing with international clients or working with, teams abroad. I never had that phobia. And even in IIM, when, I interned with Aditya Birla Group, I was posted in Indonesia. I was excited. I didn't have that phobia of, okay, how am I going to go to a new country and adjust there, or, how I'm going to interact with people there? What am I going to do there in a completely strange environment where no one is where no one is there to help me out, right? But all of that was not there, because I've already garnered such a global exposure through, the opportunities I got through IIT. And, so I got them on merit, but I got them through IIT. So IIT has definitely contributed to that in a big way. And then the fourth point I could say would be, I mentioned, you have all that rigor, the academic rigor and the curriculum. It just offers you so much to do that when I joined IIM Lucknow, it was nothing new for me, honestly. Like all of that I've already seen at IIT. How to handle rigorous academics, how to meet multiple project deadlines. You also need to take care of your extracurriculars part along with that. How to, or maybe pull all-nighters a lot of times. So all of this was not new. All of it I've seen at IIT. So it really helped me swim through easily, my journey at IML. Whereas a lot of my other peers found it difficult to adjust during the initial days of IIMs, because it's much more hectic than IITs, honestly. So, but I didn't find it that difficult as my peers. So yeah, I think I can't really count it in bullets what IIT has done for my career. So it's just immense, and it's just a holistic contribution which IIT has given to me. Yep.
That's a really cool story of you traveling for internships and everywhere and learning new stuff. Yeah. What I want to know, you just said you went for internships in Czech Republic for textile sciences, and you were a textile sciences student. What additional skills or knowledge did you have to learn or sharpen throughout your time, because to land that job in the finance domain specifically?
That's true. So there's it's totally opposite, right? This is core research and this is finance, which we don't learn at engineering. And it would be very fair for me to say that when I was in IIT, I didn't even know the F of finance or E of economics. Okay, I just started from scratch, just started from ground zero, base zero, where I knew nothing. So yes, I definitely had to put in that extra effort to take up those courses and learn. I think those are the extra. So I'm not talking about the soft skills, okay? I'm talking about the hard skills here, the technical knowledge which are required to even, appear for an interview. Otherwise, what would I really talk about in a finance interview, right? So yes, if you want to know about the details, I can tell you that. So it all started with macroeconomics, microeconomics, courses like econometrics. It was a purely new concept, and I still remember like econometrics is a 3xx course, like the second level humanities course, and it was a class of just 35 students, and all of these, sincere and studious students, I must say, were there in that class. I was the only girl in that class. So I had a very tough competition, one from my peers, and second in terms of the course content. Regression econometrics is something which was completely alien to me. I'd never heard of. So yes, yeah, I mean, I definitely had to put in a lot of extra effort taking up these extra courses, going out of my comfort zone, and learning something extra. That always requires an extra effort. So yeah, you have to do that. Of course, like I had to do a lot of extra credits, which was above the minimum requirement that you have to graduate, right? I didn't end up doing a master's in management, which I initially planned to do, and the reason was that because you have to choose a specific amount, specific courses from one basket, two baskets, etc., or something like that. But it's because I wanted to not explore just courses from management, but I also wanted to say explore a couple of courses from the mathematics department or from other departments as well. So that was this one thing. And the second, of course, like if you talk about the skills, I already talked about the soft skills that I garnered from my time at IIT, right? And that is something which is indispensable. Can't do without it if you're planning to work after this, especially in the corporate world. So yes, I think these are the two things broadly: hard skills and soft skills, and the way in which I could garner them from my time at IIT.
Okay. Did you pursue any minor degree in IIT? And how was your internship experience like? Like you visited all these countries, and did you do an internship within India as well?
Yeah. So, like I mentioned before, I did not pursue a minor in any subject like I initially planned to. And then again, the reason for that was because I didn't want to limit myself to courses from only management, for example. Of course, like I took all the courses which I wanted to, but then there were some things which outside of these, like my textile department and the management school, which I wanted to pursue. For example, I think I took a couple of courses in maths and computing. I did an extra economics course, I think, which was not needed. So yeah, I mean, I wanted to just show out of pure interest, sheer interest. Regarding my internship experiences, yes. So I did 2 internships during my 4 years at IIT Delhi. The first one, like I talked about, was at Technical University of Leverett. It was a textile research internship. And it was more of a mix of civil, mechanical, and textiles. It was on textile composites, which is a really in thing right now. I'm not sure if people know about this, but you're using, say, for example, carbon fibers to build the body of aircrafts or cars, etc., to make them really lightweight, right? Or textile composites can be used as a substitute to concrete, which is really which makes the composites really lightweight and stronger. So it was around composites, and it involved the use of softwares like SolidWorks and ANSYS, where you can do real-time simulation and see how your composite is performing and working. So really interesting that way. And yeah, I had a good time in Europe as well. That was, I think, my first alone trip out of home so far. And so definitely it was a good learning experience for me. And then my second internship, which came at the end of third year, that was with Deutsche Bank. So this was my first shot with a global bank in, again, like an alien field like finance. And I think my internship with DB was, again, a great learning experience because my manager was very supportive, my team was very supportive, because I knew little about finance, and they all had the patience to carefully explain to me how those concepts work, what all do we do, and I built my first valuation model from scratch there. And it was an automated Excel model to find out the value of assets and non-performing loan portfolios in Spain. So again, that was a team based out of London, and I had an India team as well. So yeah, I mean that again was an amazing learning experience, and I think that was the starting point to my spike of interest in finance, I can say. So definitely has a lot of importance for me. Yeah, so I did these 2 internships during my time at IIT.
Okay. Like you just told us ki your spike of interest was the first time you did your internship Deutsche Bank. Was it like something specific that spiked your interest, or someone like made you interested in investment banking and equity research in specific?
Mm-hmm. So okay, I think whenever they say, right, that whenever you want to, you have to go to the beginning to understand the end. And if I do that in my journey, I think the first stepping stone would be me taking economics courses from those humanities courses which you had to do, right? That HSS bucket that we do. After that, I started enjoying them. I took more of them. And by the time the recruiters arrived on campus to interview us for our 3rd year internships, I think I was in a good position and I had that economics knowledge to face the interview. And that got me through the DV internship, right? And then the next stepping stone was me working during the internship, building a full-blown valuation model, learning about those new concepts. That was the second step, which actually, so basically it started from economics, landing a finance internship, and then having that exposure to finance, and then building a career in finance. So it's been like this. So I can't pinpoint to someone or something in specific, but I think this process in general, inclined me towards finance. And yes, of course, added to that was my truly amazing manager and the team with whom I was working during the internship. And I built beautiful connections. I'm still in touch with my manager. So, and met him lately, like when, I was working with another firm after IIT and before going for my MBA. So, yes, I mean, I think all of this made my journey very beautiful. So, I think that drove me towards finance.
Yeah. Many people from IIT Delhi who choose to go into the finance often go for like quant trading or roles which require pure math or coding. What made you decide that you want to pursue a career in investment banking and equity research? And did you feel like your peers, some of your peers who were also going into the world of finance and economics, were pursuing that quant trading life or working on that coding? So what made you how did you decide you did not want to do that and want to go for a different path?
Right. So yes, true. And I think I like quant fin as well. So again, like just a one-up thing that, so IIM Lucknow offers you a lot of finance electives in your second year, and we have this scary course known as quantitative finance, which a lot of very less students take. I was one of them to take it, and I still love it. But yeah, I mean, I decided not to pursue it as a career because I don't know. I think I probably had that exposure to building a valuation model already during my time at IIT, right? So I think, and that involves math as well. I mean, I think, but you're applying that math more from a strategic perspective. So there's less of, I would say, complex math that you're doing. Like, for example, those complex things which we learn, right? Calculus, integration, etc. You're not using that. You're using math, like simple math, but then you're actually putting it to strategic use. And you're thinking more of like, okay, what should go where? How should the line items, for example, in a P&L flow to get to the cash flow of a firm? Or what should be included, what should not be included, what are the assumptions that you should take, at what assumptions is this firm going to grow in the future, etc. There are a whole lot of assumptions. So yes, you're using simple math, but then you're using it from a strategic point of view. And I think I like this aspect that I know where this math is being used and what end impact it's going to create. It creates huge impact, millions and billions dollars of deals we do. And I think that gives you an inherent sense of happiness or a sense of accomplishment, I should say, that you built a model and that has created some boom, this amount of impact, or this $1 million or this $1 billion IPO. So I think I was just naturally more inclined towards building valuation models, but at my heart I still like quantitative finance and I'm still a math lover, I should say. But yeah, I mean, I just decided not to pursue it as a career because I was just naturally inclined more towards the valuation aspect of finance, I should say. Yes.
Okay. How was your experience while pursuing a degree in IML? IML, what? IIM Lucknow, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 2 words. It was a roller coaster. I think I've had amazing moments. Like I received the Aditya Birla scholarship, and being those 1 out of 15, 16 students from top B schools across the country, being facilitated. Um, I think I have very beautiful memories from there because that scholarship is like a culmination of my lifetime of achievements, and nothing like it when I received it. So those were some highs which I saw. And I would also say that it was not just the Aditya Birla scholarship or being a part of that honored legacy, but I would say that I landed a summers PPO offer for that. So what a summers PPO is that your summer internship interviews have not yet happened, but then you're already receiving an offer that come intern with us. So our scholarship recipients get that. And before joining IML, I was confused, to be honest, I would say, about whether I should go for a finance internship because I worked with JP Morgan in equity research after IIT.
Yeah.
The finance internship, right? So I just thought that, I've never tried anything other than finance. What if I do something else and I start liking that more?
Okay.
I think it was also a journey of self-discovery. Me as a person, one, and second, me as a professional. It gave me a platform to explore, a lot of time to think what I wanted, what I liked, what I disliked. And if I didn't like something, I could definitely go back to my previous choice, which actually happened. So basically, I was, contemplating between finance, consulting, general management, and TAS and ABG are the two prestigious GenMan programs which come on all the IIM campuses, right? So I got this scholarship, luckily, I think 2-3 weeks before my actual summer internship interviews started. And then and then I got this summer PPO offer, and I decided to take that up because nothing like it. I just got the opportunity, and I wanted to. I think seeing that whole process, because so basically your first term at IIM, right? You are building your CVs, you're interacting with seniors. Also, when you get your consulting shortlist, you get all those buddies. So you start interacting with them. Then you have those consulting dinners, case workshops, etc. So, and at the same time, you have your finance buddies as well. And then this was, GenMan doesn't really have a process. So I was already involved in the consulting and finance processes. But then when I got this GenMan thing, the GenMan Summers PPO offer, I think I just wanted to go for it because GenMan was something which I really wanted to try. I really like general management in particular. So I went for it and I got Indonesia as a posting. I worked with the C-suite. In Indonesia, I worked with the officers, the CEO, CFO, CMO. It was just so much. It was so much of a different experience working with the C-suite and seeing how they function. And then there was also a top consulting firm which was involved in that project where we were working. So I think I got the best of two worlds during my internship. I got to see the consulting world as well, and I got to see the GenMan part as well. And I did well. I got a PPO as well. But then I think PPOs come in your second year, right? And in second year, I'd already chosen some finance electives. And I just didn't take the PPO because I just felt that I wanted to come back to finance. I think I still love finance at the core of my heart. So, and I enjoy finance. Studying finance or doing finance in practice, I just enjoy that. And ABG is a wonderful firm to work with, right? I might want to go there at some point later in my life if situation turns out to be that way. But I think I just knew that I had to be in finance for the time being. So when I said that IML gave me the option to explore myself or explore different options, this was it. That I was allowed to choose a different option and not take it because I just realized that I had to come back to something else. So I won't have that regret any time in my life, that I didn't try anything other than finance. I knew that I tried all the other things and I chose to came back to finance. And I think in my journey, I can actually say that I didn't choose finance chose me. Because honestly, I tried getting away from it. When I went for the GenMan internship, but I just got pulled back. So I have absolutely no regrets and I'm very happy. And also I think I got to discover myself as a person at IIM Lucknow. about my likes, dislikes, what I like, the kind of people I like to be with, what things I like, I don't like, amazing things. And I mean, just some personal stuff about IIM Lucknow would be that the campus is very beautiful. I just enjoyed walking around the campus. IIM Lucknow serves absolutely amazing food, all the 4 meals: breakfast, lunch, snacks, dinner, and Lucknowi specialties are, I think, are something I'm gonna miss. So yeah, lots of beautiful memories from IIM Lucknow as well. Yeah, just like I did.
What are you most proud of from your whole 4-year tenure in IIT?
Okay, so I think that would be one or two things. One is that IITs have this rigor and prestigious institute, and I think I still managed to sail through those 4 years, come out with flying colors. I think the beginning of my journey and the end of my journey were quite contrasting, because beginning of IIT was like, you have so much subjects to study. You're suddenly in a new college environment. You're just out of school, and you have so many different subjects which you're doing in your first year, right? Everyone doing it together, different core subjects. And then at the end, I just emerged as one of the, and it's not like a general college. You have the pressure of bearing that tag of an IITian on your shoulders. One. Second, it's an engineering field, so it's male dominated. You just have a ratio of 1:10 of girls to boys, campus. And not that it affects you. So for example, it didn't affect me much, but there are a lot of people for whom it becomes overwhelming. So it's very tough for people, and especially for people, so I'm a Delhiite, but for people who come from different cities, they might find it tough to adjust in a new environment here, away from home. A lot of them feel homesick, right? So I mean, it's very difficult to adjust, honestly, to this new college environment. And after even facing a lot of hardships, and I have had my fair share of failures during whatever, like my college years or etc. But I think I'm very proud of the fact that I was resilient. I never gave up, and I think that is one of the qualities that I'm very proud of, which I probably discovered, or maybe IIT built in me, this quality of resilience that, I still emerged as one of the top 5 institute rankers on the day I graduated. I was a department topper, I got a silver medal, or I also received a gold medal for, graduating at the top of my class amongst all the women who were graduating. So all of this just made me very proud, especially on the convocation day, because all of us know that it's not very hard. It's not very easy to survive during those 4 years at IIT. There are a lot of things that you go through. And every individual's journey, you can't just say that, this person's journey has been easier, or that person's journey has been easier, or just because, he or she has accomplished more. Every individual's journey is different, and only they know how much struggle or hardship they've been through. So, and same is the case with me. So yes, this is one thing that I'm proud of. And the second thing that I'm proud of is that I think I never went after grades. Every course that I chose was purely from the perspective of knowledge, for learning, and it was never for grades. That this would be something easy to swim through, and I would get through this easily. And so basically, the goal was never in mind. I mean, you of course have like short-term goals. That main goal was never in mind that, you have to land in the top 5 of the institute rankers on the day of your graduation. No, that was never ever my thinking. And I have only been very focused on learning as much as I could from those 4 years at IIT. And I just performed well, maybe because I naturally enjoyed the process of learning, and I think it just bore results. And I'm very grateful to God for that. Yeah, it's His largesse and my parents' blessings and update.
Yeah. If you had to do it all over again in IIT, what would you do differently?
Trick question. See, at first, I don't think I would do anything differently if I had to do it all over again at IIT. I do not regret any of the decisions that I've made in life. And whenever I'm making a decision, I think I personally make sure ki, I don't regret it later, because I think it just eats you up. It just follows you from inside. So nothing differently, except for this tiny fact that being a day scholar, I used to frequent home daily, right? I wasn't staying in the hostels, and then my batchmates, now tell me, like, when I catch up with them, that, oh, Aastha, you missed out on campus life a lot, and had a lot of fun in the hostels, which I know because I've seen hostel life in IIM Lucknow now, so I know that how much fun it would be. So maybe I would probably, I don't know, spend more time in hostel, or try to, get a hostel if I had to do it again. But no, otherwise, no, I don't think I would be redoing any of my decisions that I've taken during those 4 years.
Okay. What advice do you have for students who are looking for careers in finance and future programs to apply to?
Okay, in terms of advice. So, okay, does this have to be like finance oriented, or can it be general?
It can be general as well. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, let me just first talk about the finance specific aspect. I think start early. I would say, like, if you know that you have a budding interest in finance and you want to make a career in finance, you just start early. I know one of my batchmates who was very focused on finance. He knew that this is where he wanted to do. This is where he wanted to go, and he was not very much inclined towards research. And he started looking for internships, second year, third year, winter internships from investment banking or investment firms. And then ultimately he didn't even take up the placement offer which he got from IT, and he searched for a finance role, investment banking role on his own.
Okay.
Right? So this is starting early. You identify your interest and you start working towards that. So I think this is very important. Being focused, and it's okay. It's okay to not know what you want to do, and it's okay to explore. I'm not saying that you need to know at that point of time where you want to go. It can't always be possible. But if you know, or if you're able to rule out, okay, this is what I don't want to do, this is where I don't have an interest, maybe you can narrow down your options from ruling out also, right? Okay, this is not of my interest, so this is probably something which I can explore. So you should give your effort, you should give a concentrated effort towards these options which you have narrowed down on. So start early, probably. And specifically for my juniors at IIT who are there, I would say that, pick up relevant courses which would help you build a career in that particular stream going forward. Or say, even if you want to do extra currics, for example, consulting would require you to probably have extra currics PORs as well, right? So maybe then you should make an effort towards that. You should try to speak to seniors. You should find out what you really need, to get there. So I think this is very important. And second, I think, as a part of general advice, this is something which I've taken a note of from my journey at IIML. Please don't have any kind of FOMO, which is the fear of missing out.
Yeah.
And do not come under peer pressure. Do not follow that herd mentality. Everyone is going there, so I need to go there, because that is something which is very attractive. Please listen to your inner voice, because maybe some things look very glittery and full of glamour on campus, but I'm telling you that once you're out of campus and into corporate life, it's just same. You need to enjoy what you are doing. That is what matters, okay? Please do not try to, and this is advice to all my juniors, please do not try to compare your definition of success with your batchmate's definition of success. It is different. Please let him do what he wants to. I mean, it's okay to be motivated and work together towards the same goal, towards the same shared goal. That is a different thing. But you should not be doing something purely because, you don't know. If I ask you, why are you probably say interviewing for this company? You should be able to answer me with concrete responses. You should not be telling me, oh, I just thought that my friend is also interviewing for this company, so let me also, give a try. I've seen people at IIML also not sitting for certain interviews, company interviews, and only going for a specific number of firms which they wanted to. I was under a lot of peer pressure, I won't lie. When I gave up, I had all the shortlists during my summer PPO, and I gave up all of them for my summer interviews, and I gave up all of them because I wanted to try Gen Man.
Yeah.
I could have gone somewhere else, And not everyone does that. I took a very unconventional route. So, there was a lot of resistance from people around. But I went by what I wanted, because I know like I should not be regretting later in my life, and I should be trying out what I like. So no peer pressure, no herd mentality, no FOMO. Please stay focused on, achieving your own goal. And let me tell you that the definition of success, varies from person to person. I also have a couple of my batchmates from IIT Delhi, when I was working from JP Morgan, and one of them said that, he doesn't really feel like living in a big city, for example, like Bombay.
Okay.
He doesn't enjoy that. He wants to settle down in for example, a tier 2 city with a lot of peace, quiet, and his own little venture, whatever he wants to do. He wants to stay close to his family, he wants to stay there. That is going to give him happiness, and that is his definition of success. So would you tell him that, hey, you are living in a tier 2 city in India, look at that person is living in the US.
Yeah.
Back the coding role, and he's earning millions. You're barely earning. You can't compare. It's apples to oranges. Everyone's definition of success is different. Everyone's journey is different. Everyone's preferences are different. So just don't compare, because I'm telling you that even after, I say this, people will nod their heads that yes, maybe what she's saying is right. But when you are in that environment, it's very difficult to think clearly. So I think this is something which is a must to be kept in mind. And yeah, I think this is one major learning which I've taken from my journey thus far, from IIT and AlumInspire.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. That actually puts me in, to think, am I doing the things that I want to do? My final question is, what do you plan on doing from here, and what are some of your future ambitions?
Okay. So, see, I honestly haven't really thought of my plans way ahead. I am enjoying working at Goldman Sachs. It was one of my dream companies, and I really love it here. I love the culture of the firm. And I know that, investment banking is known for its notoriously long hours. So we all know that, even though it has a steep learning curve, so everything comes with its pros and cons. But I think GS has an amazing culture. Like, everyone around is so supportive. I just enjoy working with my London teams a lot, and they're very nice people. So I think I just want to stay in investment banking for a while. I want to grow as an investment banker. Okay, I want to climb up the ladder. And it's not just climbing up the ladder. I just still feel that I have a lot to learn. I've barely learned anything. Even though I'm about to complete 1.5 years in investment banking, in December, but I still feel that I have a lot to learn, and I think I can grow. I want to grow as an investment banker right now. So yeah, let's see if the tables turn later on, other opportunities stumble by, or something happens, or if the situation changes. But right now my plan is to be an investment banker with GS for now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be the end of the interview. Thank you so much.